Good afternoon. It's about a minute past 12, and it's just been a busy morning. We changed our hours. We've been working since 8 o'clock this morning, and so it's just been a crazy busy day, and so I apologize for being a little bit late, but I am back with you on Facebook Live with Abundant Health and Wellness, and I am Dr. Heil-Mealey, and so today we're going to talk about some common sense things that you can do in the midst of this coronavirus pandemic. Now, just want to start out by saying that 98% of the people who test for the virus test negatively. So it's not something that you are likely to get, but at the same time, there is this kind of mass hysteria going on and headlines. In fact, I'm going to start with that. I've got a lot of different little pieces that I want to talk about today, but the one thing that I do want to talk about is the hysteria. Now, if you do a lot of social networking, if you do a lot of browsing on the internet, you're going to find the hysteria, because hysteria is what gets the clicks, and people are all wanting to see what's going on. And so I want you to be very, very mindful of headlines. And I'm going to read just a little bit from this article, and it's all about hysteria. Now I'm going to give you some headlines here, okay? Most daunting virus in half a century. Oh man, I want to read about that. Virus outbreaks sparks toilet roll panic. Okay, and we know that people are hoarding toilet paper. Now, I hope you're not one of those people that are hoarding the toilet paper, because that's just not something that we want to see. Bye-bye handshakes. Okay, what's that all about? Refugee crisis could break the EU. Investor massacre may be near. Okay, mechanized bots amplifying denialist message. So all of these are hysterical headlines, and so there's just not a lot of objectivity in journalism these days. People want their posts to go viral, and so they are using these headlines to try and grab the attention. I don't like it, because I think it is creating mass hysteria. I think it is creating mass fear. And anytime that you get into fear, you're going to lower your immune system. If you lower your immune system, you're going to be prey to virus, whether it's the coronavirus or any other virus. So I want you to just be aware if you are sensitive. Now, some people are not sensitive. Like, I'm not real sensitive. I am a news junkie. I love watching the news, and I would have the news channels on all the time, just because I just like that. It doesn't affect my attitude, it doesn't affect my personality, and so I can just kind of roll with it. But if you are someone who gets really depressed or anxious when you watch the news, then don't watch the news, okay? That's just not something that you need to be doing, because we don't want to feed into the mass hysteria, and that's what all of these posts are for, is to get you in that situation where you are in panic mode. Because if you are in panic mode, you're going to operate out of panic instead of operating out of logic. And I want you to operate out of logic, okay? Another crazy headline, bumblebees are going extinct. Now we do know that the pesticides and herbicides are hurting the bees. I love bees. We've got some farming, rural property, and we're thinking about putting some bees on there. So if any of you are out there and you're beekeepers and you want to have some land out in East Texas, well, we've got some land we'll let you rent from us. So we're definitely into having bees. Okay, I love bees. But manufacturing hysteria is not helpful or beneficial to society. Websites and media outlets use it all the time to gain attention. So if you are susceptible to that, please don't watch it, okay? It says in every case of these headlines above, okay, in every case, the overstated hysteria of the headline is designed for one purpose: to grab your attention and to garner clicks. Of course, this might all be fine and good if the constant overstated hysteria were not causing any harm. But there are numerous studies connecting the consumption of newscasts with anxiety, resulting in uncontrolled fear, psychological hyperarousal, okay, sleep difficulties, and fearful thoughts. Constant overstatement of the danger surrounding us is causing personal harm and division among us. And I would say that that is absolutely true in the main. So if you are someone who is affected by this, please turn off your social media. Please limit your social media, because I want you to be very, very healthy. I want you to know that you can work with your immune system so that you don't have to be afraid of the virus. As I've told you before, a few short weeks ago in February, the IPA, International Iridology Practitioners Association, we went on a cruise. It had been planned for over a year. And yes, we know that there were some cruise ships that were quarantined with the virus, but are healthy. We believe that our immune system can handle whatever comes at us. And so we went and we were prepared. We had started taking some antiviral herbs before we left. And then we took those antiviral herbs while we were on the cruise. And then we continued to take those antiviral herbs after we got off the cruise. We did it for about a week, maybe 7 days, maybe a little bit longer. And we didn't come down with anything. Now, there were other people in our party that did not prepare properly, and they did come down with the flu, or that's what it was diagnosed with, is the flu. And so, we just know what we can do, and what we can do is we can support our immune system. So that's what I want to talk to you about today. There are some common sense things that you can do. In fact, I read a study this week that said that if you wear a mask, that you are going to prevent the spread of any kind of respiratory illness. So it may be, if you are a person that has your lungs are a nurture point, okay? You typically get bronchitis, you typically get the sniffles, you typically get a cold during the winter. Then you're going to want to be more proactive and protect yourself. Now, what that might mean taking some antiviral herbs every day, just a small bit, just to keep your immune system on high alert. It may mean that you need to wear a mask when you go to the grocery store. It obviously means that all of us are wiping down our surfaces, all of us are wiping down our phones and our door handles and all that kind of stuff. Here at the clinic, we're doing the same thing. We're washing our hands. In fact, we've got some really good essential oil hand sanitizer. We also made a Corona blend essential oil that you can rub on your pulse points on your neck, you can rub on your pulse points on your wrist, and it will produce a force field against viral particles, and so it will actually repel them, and that's what you want. So we want not to ignore the hysteria, but we want to be very, very and do whatever we particularly need. Now, I have never had the flu. I have very rarely ever had a cold or sniffles or whatnot. So my lungs are good. I'm not worried about it. Now, I'm going to keep a good distance away from people that I don't know, because I don't know what's going on with you. But people that I know, people that I live with, I'm not worried about. If I were to wake up and think, oh, I don't feel 100% today, then what do? I hit it hard, I hit it fast. I've got antiviral, antibacterial herbs in my cabinet. I will take them every 2 hours. I will set my phone every 2 hours, and I will do that regimen every 2 hours, and by the end of the day, I'm good. So I'm not expecting to get the coronavirus. I'm not expecting to get any virus. I don't know anybody that's come down with it. I do on our news, there was a lady who has recovered. I do know her. She's not in my circle of friends that I see every day, so it's not somebody I know and have interaction with every day. So the probability of you getting this is not very high. Remember, 98% of people that are tested come up negative. So we want to make sure that we pay attention to that, because on your news clicks, on your social media, all they're going to do is they're going to be telling you how many deaths, how many people have been diagnosed, and those are important numbers. But you've always got to judge those numbers against the ones that are recovered, or even the ones negatively. Have it, and that's not what they are telling you. Okay, so we're going to go back to stress. All right, and we have economic stress as well, and I don't want to minimize stress at all. As I told my son this morning, the whole world has never seen what we're seeing today. We've never had an pending economic collapse the way we're looking at today, and it is worldwide. It's not just here in the United States, but it is worldwide. And so this is kind of something that's really, really different. It's really stressful. I know that you may be home, you may be home from work, you may be doing work from home virtually, you may be teaching your children virtually, you may be doing all your church virtually. That's stressful. Okay, that's very, very stressful. So we need to make sure that we rise above the stress. Americans are suffering from symptoms of ill health related to stress, including insomnia, digestive problems, anxiety, depression, headaches, heart disease, and high blood pressure. Okay? Being under unrelenting stress feels bad. It suppresses your immune system at a time that you need it to be strong, and it affects the quality of your life. Now, I do a lot of vibrational medicine. You may understand that, you may not understand that, and I don't really have a lot of time to go into that, but I will just tell you, I am very tuned in to my frequencies. I am tuned in to how I feel. I am tuned in to how I feel emotionally, how I feel physically, how I feel spiritually. I'm just tuned in because I'm mindful. I've been practicing mindfulness for a long time. And I told my husband, this was on the first of the Stay at Home, Stay Safe program. I told my husband, the world is off. I feel off. And he said, honey, it's going to be okay. Don't get depressed. And it's like, no, I'm not depressed. It's not depressed. I'm just off. The world is off. People are not behaving the way they normally believe. People are not thinking the way they normally think. And why is that? Because we are in a situation, all of us, okay? When was the last time you couldn't go to church, right? When was the last time you couldn't go out to dinner with your friends? When was the last time you couldn't go out to happy hour or whatever you do, right, for social entertainment? I mean, we have downtown in Humble, we've got a little park across the street, and it's nice. And the second week of the month, the second Friday of the month, we all go outside and there's a band and they play, and it's just a nice way to get to connect with your neighbors and that kind of thing. There's never very many people. There's probably about 50. Of course, it's been closed down now. And so we just never lived in a time where we were pretty much all recluses. And thankfully, it's not martial law. I'll say yet. Hopefully, it doesn't get to that. But still, the confinement is unnerving in a little bit. So we are all under a lot of stress. So what can you do to help alleviate the stress? Well, one thing you can do is that you can begin your day with prayer and meditation. So you need to center yourself. Now, some of you have written me and said, tell me what you do. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what I do. What I do, I get up a couple of hours earlier than I need to. And why is that? Because I have to center myself for the day. I have to have enough time to wake up. I have to have enough time for prayer. I have to have enough time for Bible study. That's what I do in the morning. And so I have at least an hour where nobody's calling me, nobody's texting me, nobody's bothering me, that I can just get up, greet the day, center myself in my morning rituals so that when I come to the office, I'm prepared for the day and I'm able to be the best version of myself that I can be in that given day. Now, can I hop up, get dressed, get to the office? Yes, I can, but I'm not centered and I'm not my best self, and I don't perform as well as I would if I had taken the time to center myself. And so I'm just telling you, if I hop up, get dressed, get to the office, I'm going to be in a more stressed state. You're going to hear that divine health strategy that you need. And yes, we pray every morning here in the clinic that we have divine health strategy so that you're getting out of your pain, you're getting out of your whatever it is in a quick way without any harm. And so being a person of intent and having morning rituals really help me and helps me stabilize my day. So meditation is one of the things that's really, really good. Move your body, exercise. I've got an exercise bike in my room, and I do that in the morning, okay? I spend time doing that as part of my prayer time, that's part of my meditation time, that's part of my centering time, okay? And so you may not know what centering means. If that's a new term for you, go ahead and Google it. And it is a lot of different rituals that you do in order to pull yourself together, no matter what's going on in the world, so that you can be your best self. And I think that's really, really important. Put down your stress on paper, so journal. Now, I will just tell you, if you could look at my kitchen table, you would see 3 or 4 journals there. Now, I have a journal. I'm doing a special spiritual journey right now, and I've got a journal for that. I'm doing a special physical journal, so I'm doing a journal for that. I've got my regular Sunday morning Bible journal, so I've got that one. So I have different. I'm very compartmentalized, and some of you will know what that means and appreciate that. Okay, put your stress down on paper. Keeping a journal allows you to download all the thoughts and feelings that are stressing you. By writing these things down, you're committing them in paper, okay, and allowing yourself to release them. Journaling is not judgmental. It is unfiltered, and it allows you some clarity on the issues that are bothering you. Often leads to solutions. So I would just say, if you are not a journaler, then this might be a good time to start. One of the things I saw yesterday, I haven't seen it before yesterday, but possibly yesterday was not the first day, but I'm seeing people put on their Facebook post so they'll have a memory next year of how crazy things are right now. Okay? So, that might be something that's going to be fun to laugh at next year. I heard a economist yesterday saying that if everybody is able to go back to work in May, that we should recover all of our losses by August, which that was a very, very hopeful message. So, there is hope out there. You might have to look for it, but journaling is a really good way to release the tension, release the anxiety, all right? Step away from the stress. To avoid becoming completely burned out for stress, do what it takes to remove yourself from your stressful situation whenever possible. If able, take a personal day or two. Now, this is something funny right now because we're all stay-at-home people, of us anyway. So you need to step away from anything that is stressing you, okay? Step away. Take a break. You can still go to the park. You can't sit and have lunch with your friend or whatever, but you can get out in the fresh air. You can move. You can get outside, get that vitamin D that is so, so necessary for our immune system. Just step away. Turn off all electronic gadgets for 1 day a week, okay? I don't know that anybody could do that, but that's a good suggestion. All emails, texts, and tweets will be there tomorrow. Set aside an hour or two as often as possible to sit quietly and read a book or listen to music. I will tell you that one of the things that really cleared out a lot of the stress in my life is I turned off my notifications on my phone. Okay, my phone will ring, my phone will text, but all of the Facebook notifications, all of the email notifications, all the tweets and all that, they won't come through. Now, I apologize for the noise that you're hearing. We had an air conditioner go out, and so they're replacing that. So I apologize if you're hearing the drill back there. I can't do anything about that. It's going to be 100 degrees soon, and I need air conditioning in my office, so I apologize. But if you'll turn off the notifications, I don't need to be notified every time an email comes in. I don't need to be notified every time somebody sends me a Facebook like or wants a question on Facebook or whatever. If I had those on, or when I had those on, my phone was pinging incessantly, and it was getting on my nerves. I'm just going to be honest with you. It gets on my nerves. My family texts me, and they know that I'm working. Don't text me during the working hours. Or if you do text me during the working hours, I'm not going to respond, because what am I doing? I'm working, okay? So I turn off at night. My phone is not consistently pinging with the Facebook posts and the email posts and the social media. It's just not. I can't deal with it. I also turn on my do not disturb feature on my phone when I need it, okay? And you might need to do that too. It's not a good idea to have a text early in the morning when you're not ready for it. So set your phone settings, use them for your own mental health, okay? And have the do not disturb on the times that you don't need to be disturbed. When you're doing your meditation, when you're doing your prayer, when you're doing your centering, you don't need to be disturbed for that. Get outdoors, we talked about that. Get some acupuncture. Now, I don't know in the Houston area if acupuncture is considered essential medicine, if they're still out there. But a lot of times people do acupuncture for pain relief, but it's also good for anxiety relief. So that's something that you could do. Research found that acupuncture can boost your immune system, and it can reduce inflammation, okay? So those are some things that you can do to rise above the stress. So what about precautions? Well, if you are older, and I have to laugh about that because I now fit in the category. I don't really feel older. I don't feel any older than I've ever felt, but I have passed that birthday where they're considering everybody older, and they're saying if you're older, you're more at risk. Okay, so I just don't think that's very nice, and I'm trying not to internalize that thought. But if you are older and you have underlying health conditions, now those underlying health conditions could be COPD, if you are a cancer survivor, if you have had chemotherapy, if you have had radiation, if you have hypertension, if you are a diabetic, if you are obese. Those are underlying health conditions that tell us that your immune system is not working at an optimal level. So if that is you, you need to take more precautions. So what precautions do we take? Okay, we talked about wearing a mask, but they also suggest that you might want to wear gloves as well, because viruses do not survive well on cloth surfaces. Now, I had to laugh yesterday because I saw on a Facebook page, it was a man, and you just saw the side profile so you could see it was a man, and he's got his cell phone, he's got his gloved hand, he's touching his cell phone, and then he's eating something out of a bag. I don't know if it was potato chips or popcorn or whatever it was. I don't know what it was. But the caption was, "What's wrong with this video?" And it was like, well, yeah, you're touching your cell phone. You're going to get the virus from the phone, because they have said that the virus lives on hard surfaces for multiple hours. You've got your glove as a barrier for the pores of your skin, right? But then you're touching the phone and then you're eating with the same glove. So we don't want to do that. Okay? If you are susceptible, then you want to wear gloves, of course, but be mindful. Last night on the news, they talked about, are you using your antimicrobial wipes properly? Well, I'll just tell you, I take a wipe and I wipe down my surface and I throw it away. I might wipe down multiple surfaces, but they said you shouldn't be doing that. You should use one wipe per surface, because if you use a wipe on multiple surfaces, you could be transferring bacteria. So we don't want to do that, okay? So I heard that on the news yesterday, so we want to be real particular about how we're using these wipes. They also want you to let it dry. Use the wipe, let it air dry for 4 minutes so that it kills all the bacteria. Now, we're like crazy people around here. We're wiping down all of our surfaces. We're wiping down our phone. We're wiping down the tables. If you come in and we're wiping down the chairs, somebody's been sitting there that has cooties, okay? We're just being really, really proactive, because we want you to still come and see us, and we want you to feel very, very confident when you come in that we're doing what we need to do. So if you come in and there's that strong bleach smell, that's because we've just disinfected. If you come in and we're wiping things down, it's because we just need to stay on top of it. People have been sitting there, maybe kids have been sitting there, and so we're just taking some really good proactive measures for you, because we care about you and we want you to feel that it's very, very safe for you to come into the clinic, okay? So try not to handle your smartphone when you're out of the house. A phone is a hard plastic surface that can easily get contaminated, okay? So the other thing that you can do is foster well-being, okay? Asked what was safe for older adults, Dr. Paul Tatum, an associate professor of medicine at the University of Texas, Austin, focused on factors that contribute to well-being. It's safe to exercise. In fact, it's very important to keep exercising, but not at the gym or in a large group. It's safe to get plenty of sleep, but avoid sleeping pills if possible. It's safe to prevent worry and take a break from social media and too much news. It's safe to take care of your spiritual needs at this time, but do it at a distance is wise. Now, I don't know if you saw the news, but there was a very famous pastor that got in trouble because he decided not to close the church. And I'm just going to say something a little controversial here. If we are the body of Christ and we're acting the way we're supposed to be acting, we should be a safe place. Just going to throw that out there. The other side of the coin is, as our designated authorities, our president and our governor and our mayor have asked us not to go and congregate in groups of larger than 10. So you've got two sides of that coin, so I'm just going to leave it there, okay? I hate that we're doing church digitally. I'm just going to throw that out there. I think that the spiritual community is a really, really strong community, and your community fosters your immune system, okay? When you are with your friends, you are happy. The Bible is very clear that a merry heart does good like a medicine. It's very well documented that when you laugh, when you're happy, when you're joyful, you release those endorphins. And that's what we need to have a strong immune system, okay? Let me see. Okay, so common sense, all right? School closings won't slow transmission if the parents allow close play dates or even activity on the playgrounds. All right, this is from a professor of mental health and statistics and health policy at Johns Hopkins Blue School of Public Health. Okay, playgrounds are a problem because they put children in close proximity, and also parents get distracted and they're not really watching their children. So that's why they've got the playground closed. But you can run around outside. You can let them be out in the fresh air, which is very, very good, okay? She goes on to say, even if you choose only one friend to have over, you are creating new links and possibilities for the type of transmission that all of our school, work, public event closure is trying to prevent, okay? So we don't want to be part of the problem. Now, I read an article about, I think it was Sweden, and Sweden seems to think that their population enough to self-quarantine, and so they're not doing the social distancing, and they're just really focusing on the people that are showing symptoms and that kind of thing. And my heart says that that's probably the healthier way to deal with this, but that's not where we are in this country. I think that if we all participate to the best of our ability to stay away from other people, that we may be able to get out of this nonsense. And I say nonsense, and I don't think it's healthy for us to be isolated. Understand at this time that we need to be isolated to do what they want to do, flatten the curve. When there are so many people that are not symptomatic, I'm not symptomatic, okay? The coronavirus is a very, very mild virus unless you have underlying conditions, okay? Be smart. Do what is needed so that the world can go back to normal. And that means in the state of Texas, where we are, that we still have to maintain social distance for at least another 30 days. Well, close to it, okay? We're the third, so 27 days. We can do this, but take care of yourself in the meantime, right? I know there are a lot of virtual meetings by Zoom. There's a lot of virtual happy hours, virtual Bible studies, virtual church services, whatever it is that makes you happy. Take advantage of that. I'm missing my friend at you on Facebook, and I'm thinking, oh, I haven't seen you in several weeks, and I miss that. Okay, I miss the laughs we have together. I miss the jokes that you tell. I miss all that. And so take care of yourself, and hopefully it won't be too long until we can get back to normal. So hopefully this has helped you. I see that Z waved at me. That's my little grandson. I'm waving back at him. Take care of yourself. It is going to be the weekend. Try to dodge the raindrop that they tell us is coming this afternoon and all weekend. Again, I apologize for the noise in the background. We are getting a new air conditioner, so thank you, Aaron Mechanical. We're going to give you a shout out here. If you're in the Humble area and you need AC work, Aaron Mechanical is awesome, and they take care of us. And so that's what you're hearing in the background. So be good to yourself. Love you much. Take care. I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.